Okay, so Jewell Starsinger here. This matters because we've got so much confusion around feminine and masculine. And we're also confused about good and bad, right and wrong, duality, singularity. We're confused. Because why? We have used words in placeholder for experience. And that's a big mistake because words are not real. Even this written shit isn't real. Well, maybe the pictures and the colors are. But you see what I'm getting at is that, Kurt Metzger just said it the other day. The liar is the, oh, shoot. I'll get to you later on that one. In other words, Mercury, the thinker talker, is the liar. And why is that? Because a word means something to me and you don't know what it means to me. You know what it means to you. And that depends on what you've done, where you've been, who told you that. I mean, there's so many levels and factors of how we understand our language. That's why as things are caving in, it's because we're reforming how we think. We are starting to say, well, these written dialogues, these books, not so good anymore. These different languages, okay, but let's take them on a level where we see that they reflect our culture and a way of thinking, but they aren't real and they're not true because truth moves. Truth is now. I am truth. La la here. Cha cha. Truth moves. All right. So what this diagram, this Kabbalistic tree of life shows us is just a cutaway, two-dimensional cutaway, as if you took a DNA twisty ladder and you cut it and stopped it. And you still framed it just like that. And you just disregarded the moving, spinning, twisting of it, and you just did that to it. This is what you get. Okay, so what I'm here to show people is that we don't have a single God. And the New Age is all big on that. We go back to source, one source. I've had all my spiritual teeth cut on that concept. And what I'm here to tell you is that that is not the whole truth. That is a part of it. There is a singularity, and there's also a duality. And what happens when you add 2 to 1? You get 3. Now, these people got it. They got it. So, and the DNA is 2 sides, 2 pillars, and then a center ladder. Okay, so there it is. This is DNA. This is a language. Now, in my work, I have translated it into other languages. So I have these trees, I call them, with all like the tarot, and I do Jung, and there's a whole wall of them. Movies, characters, so that we can sort of multiculturalize a concept and populate each concept with characters that we can understand and relate to. Because if you've lived it, you can understand it. If you haven't lived something, you can't understand it. So that's how that goes. All right, so I'm just doing a layout for you because I'm going to do more, but it's just me. So you've got your 3 pillars. Now, here's the trick, and it's twisty. This is how it works. The left side is the lady side, but it's ruled by the right brain. The right side is the dude side, and it's ruled by the left brain. Twisty. Okay? And when they twisty, you get the Big Bang. That's here. And after the Big Bang, what happens? Light shoots out. Particles, data packets. Boom. Where do they go? They shoot into the body of the eternal body of the universe, which is a dormant magnet. And when the light data packets shoot out into the cosmic magnet, That's the lady part. You get something happen. And that is the initial swirly dirly stuff that the science people all talk about. Yes? Okay. So there's that trinity there. Now, these are like parents then to this group. And you can see the lines, they shoot back and forth, because what we're doing is we're climbing down a ladder. When we get to the very bottom, we're going to climb back up again. So that's how the system works. So this is like metaphysical up here. This is cosmic, right? But here we have two characters. This is a queen and a king. So what they represent is royalty. And that's why they've got the royal colors, that deep blue and that purple. Okay. Now, these characters, I love these characters. They live in your throat, by the way. And they are the ones who speak your truth. So as they're coming down from the cosmic, we're going to run through our cosmic truth through this bottleneck here. See how that works, right? Okay, so there's that. You've got the queen of the mountain, and you've got the king of fertility. The fertile guy, the king, he fertilizes all things with what? Non-physical, because the right is non-physical. It's masculine is non-physical. He fertilizes with his knowledge, and he is a shapeshifter. So he can go places and change and fit in and understand, because like I said before, you cannot understand it unless you've lived it. So that's what he seeks, understanding inside the mountain, the queen. So that is, the feminine is always there as she is. She's boring. I don't know if you've ever just hung out with a lot of women in a women's group, but it gets very tedious. Sorry, it just does. But you have a dude come in and see what's going on and crack a joke. Doesn't that feel amazing? What a relief. Because we ladies are way serious, and we're way just waiting to be impressed with novelty. That's how this works. Sorry, people, but feminism is all goofy. All right. Now, so there's another trinity. So what happens when the fertilizing masculine king enters into the realm of the crystals and the mountain and judgment and discovery of the hard realities? There comes a centering in the heart. See how that is? It's right here. Okay. And the heart is the grand central station of love, because once you have the mental have an experience within the physical, he is blown away. And he is in deep gratitude, because guess what? Without the physical, without the mountain for him to enter, he doesn't really have the experience that he needs to be the wise king. So he loves her, and it manifests here. And together, the king and the queen are a mated pair to be creators of a new generation made from love and understanding, going back and forth, reverberating back and forth. So that's a beauty. And this is walk-in beauty of the Native Americans. This is sacred alchemy, marriage, gold. It's also passion and celebrity. It is about, look what happened here. It's freaking miraculous. Oh, this is a glorious place. And a lot of New Age people are talking about the heart being the center of our consciousness. And I think that's correct, because this is where it manifests. All of this ideation and numinous energy that we can't really, that doesn't have any meaning. This is where we derive meaning, in the center. Okay, but this is still a journey into the lower parts of our body, which represents as we more and more materialize, you see. And so here below that, then we have the lowest chakra, the most, I hate that low and high thing. Let's say the most available chakras have to do with our identity, and that is located in the pelvis. Okay. And so what that says is that on your right hip is your Venus, is your girly energy. And on your right hip is your boy energy and your left hip is your girl energy. So, in other words, the mated pair isn't Venus and Mars. It's Venus and Mercury, because you have the physical, you have the bull, which I really want you to know that I think Taurus isn't the bull. It's the cow. It's feminine. And she can get mad because they like to say the bull, oh, he's calm until he isn't. Well, so is the cow, but she's even calmer. But she will step on you if you try and hurt her baby, So there is power in that feminine bovine energy. Plus, she digests all that vegetable material and turns it into milk and manna, you see. So that is the cow. And now Mercury then is the son of Jupiter here. And this guy is learning. And his dad, Jupiter, he learned through his excursions into a more numinous experience of physicality. But down here, we're running it through our identity. And so up here, it was like, let's find the truth. It's here. Down here, it's like, let's see who we are around this. Let's have our identity, okay? And so that's what Venus and Mercury, they're personal planets. And they represent how you relate to others and how you feel about yourself, what you value, what you love, but not love like the heart. This is more like what you bring into yourself. The analogy is the maiden, and she is spring. And so the whole story of Demeter and Persephone and Pluto is that spring was taken away because the mother, Demeter, she is summer. She's the full heat of the summer, but her daughter is spring, you see, and she's spring. So there's wet. Everything's coming up in bounty. She's bountiful, and the reason what she's doing is she's responding, because femininity is responsive. It's not active. It's magnetic. It pulls into itself, and it responds to stimuli. And stimuli are here as mental. Okay, so the brain then stimulates here. But what I'm learning now is about the sounding. And so what happens is the message is over here. We don't know what that is. It doesn't exist really. It's ephemeral. But when this tuning fork over here receives the wind of this idea, she vibrates. And the sound itself then pushes it into creation. Now, this is another trinity because we've got Mars here, and this is the sex center. This is the second chakra. This is where we unite. And this is in the Kabbalah, in the Tree of Life stuff, this is foundation. Our foundation is sex. And all of these center pillars, the center pillar is sexual. But one of the things that's going on now, I'm learning, is that people are having lots of private sex by themselves or with a computer image. And so what we're doing is different. So what we're saying here is when you have the tuning fork reverberating, and you have this message pushing into that fork, and so this action is then expressed in the second chakra as desire and fulfillment and the foundation of creation. I hope I'm saying this in enough ways to ping onto something that you have known or understood so that you can take this in personally, because I'm getting there. So anyway, then here's the bottom, Malkut, and that we call the village, the tribe. This is where we are. So this is the kingdom. And, the Christian stuff, you want to go to the kingdom. How do you enter the kingdom? You enter as a baby. So here we have these two gods making love, and we are the baby. We're the child of a divine sexual experience. So every time that everything you do is godly. These people on either side, they do not have the whole story, because the magnet just pulls in and accepts. And the novelty just shoots out, shoots out, shoots out. They do what they do. And if this novel shoots and destroys something, blows it up, who cares? It's not his concern. And if she receives a bunch of horrible, mean shit, she doesn't discriminate. It's in there. She's holding it. What happens then in the center? In the center and the tribe at the bottom, where we are receiving all of this turning spiral. And the other thing is, it's all turning. It's all spiraling. That DNA, this is all turning. It's turning. So when we get to the bottom and we receive all that, guess who is the moral center? You are. And guess what? You are as God. He doesn't have any hands. And she doesn't have any action. She can't move. She's immutable. But together they make us. So we're not made by one God. We are one God, made from two divine forces that are mysterious, untouchable, and unknowable and unspeakable. So here I am with my words telling you all about it. See how everything goes around? It's ironic, yeah? Okay, so that is the basic diatribe, and I'll get into the different details in terms of the characters later. But right now I just wanted to give the overview, and I also wanted to say everything spins. And modern quantum physics is getting a knowledge of the gods with all their spinny stuff. That is exactly. And flush your toilet, that's a vortex. And the center is peace. The center of a hurricane, it's peaceful. But on the two sides, it's chaotic. It's spinning. And the chaos itself causes the spinning, which causes the little tiny center where we live in this peaceful place in spite of all the crazy. I mean, if you think it's crazy here and now, can you imagine what it's like on the edges? I mean, and that's what Taoism is too, and Buddhism, and all those people that are trying to get peaceful. We're all trying to say, look, on either side, it's pretty wild. It's harsh, and it doesn't have any moral center. There is no God in the sky with a moral center. You are the God in the now with the moral center. So let's get that straight and spread that news, because that is my message. You do the right thing and stop being selfish, greedy, and all the other sins, because that's why they're there, for us to understand not to do that. Yeah? Okay, I feel complete now. And if you want a reading, I will help you organize the characters in your life. And you can reach me at jewellstarsinger.com. That is Jewel with 2 L's. I made it up. Okay,